Hey, hopefully we should be live. Hello everyone. God, I would need my glasses to be able to see any comments. Hi guys. Give a shout out if you are listening or tuning in or paying attention. Whoops, wrong way. Oh. Anywho, it's nice to be here. Thanks, Chrissy, for having me back again in the Krazy Koru Corner. If you can hear me, just let me know, because it feels like I'm talking to myself right at the moment as well. Take my glasses off so I can not see. Mm. Right, I might just actually just waffle away because I'm actually struggling to actually see the comments coming up anyway. Um, right, welcome to the energy of this year. It's been such an amazing year. I know everyone's going, oh gosh, it's been such a challenging year, but at the end of the day, it's actually just been such an amazing year of evolution, basically across the whole board. So I kind of said to Chrissy that I wanted to have a talk tonight about the energy that's coming up at the moment and what's actually been happening to us all along the way. And basically, what's actually been changing is you, quite simply. As the world kind of slowed for the events that have happened around the world, it gave the universe an amazing opportunity for us to have some incredible soul level upgrades. Now, how the soul level upgrades have actually manifested is changes in our five senses as we have simply brought more soul through. Now, when we say that you're bringing more soul through, or we used to actually say that, you were ascending or going up in levels or whatever, it doesn't really matter about the terminology, just the fact that the changes are actually happening. Now, because we're human beings and we're very preoccupied with stuff that's actually going on in our world all the time, we don't have a tendency to put our current selves as a priority until things start to change within us. And the upgrades affect the five senses. So we might not have been able to notice that our eyesight's changed, but it has. Um, Hearing, smell, all of those sorts of things we've got upgrades on as well. So you might have noticed that some foods are just not suiting you anymore, and you've decided that you'll change what you're eating, or you're not drawn to chocolate anymore, heaven forbid, but you're not drawn to some things anymore. And it's actually really interesting because a lot of people are actually saying to me right at the moment, well, I just don't feel like it. And that's part of it as well. But those are kind of subtle changes for people. So we can easily, with the human brain, kind of dismiss we've just had some food changes or dietary changes. But the one thing that we can't miss is our emotions. And when you have brought more of your soul through, it's bigger connection to your emotional state. So we've noticed that in the soul upgrade, our tolerances in terms of emotions have changed. We can feel more emotional or more sensitive or more aware, and those sorts of things are actually causing quite a lot of relationship dynamic as well, as we're deciding that relationships that once served us don't actually suit us anymore, or the way that we were actually turning up in relationships has actually changed. So a lot of people have been in this energy of declutter mode. So you've been decluttering people, jobs, things, and weight, all sorts of things actually being decluttered and have been over the last 6 months decluttered out of your life. Then you've actually found that you've stepped into truthful clarity, and all of a sudden in your kind of intolerances, which are really good, by the way. They're really, really good. You're now suddenly speaking your mind, and you have family members and colleagues and friends that are suddenly going, I don't know why you're suddenly being snappy or overly sensitive. All of those sorts of things are happening right at the moment as well. So you've got, declutter mode, and you've got truthful clarity. Well, all of that actually starts you then on an investigation in yourself of what's truthfully really important to you. And a lot of people are finding they're not fulfilled by the job, or they're not fulfilled by where they're living or the relationship. And a lot of souls are going, actually, there's something wrong with me. Well, there's nothing wrong with you, but we're in a year of dropping illusions. And the illusion is that you were supposed to turn up in a certain way. I watched a really cool podcast the other day with Russell Brand, and he was talking about this year is really, really crunch time for people, because all we know is the limits that we currently work under. Now, in the limits that we currently work under, we are finding that um, it doesn't suit us anymore, but we don't know what else is out there. So I always say to people, it's a little bit like, oh my God, where am I going? What am I doing? And you can't kind of feel your way forward, let alone kind of get a handle on what's happening in your emotional state as well. So there's a lot of people feeling like they're on a roller coaster, or been on a roller coaster. Um, because we're human beings, we love to know where the boundaries are, and whether we fit within those boundaries. Then how do we hold on to the edges of the new energy if we're going beyond limits? And this is where Russell Brand said, well, we don't know what that is. So we're on Scrabble mode to hold on to what we already know, even though we know it doesn't actually suit us. And that's the thing that's actually really, really frustrating for a lot of people. I think probably if we just slow it down a little bit, and I love what Upstairs is talking about at the moment. They're actually talking about an overriding energy for the next 6 months of kind of being curious. What would that be like to change jobs, be adventurous, change something, even a little thing that can actually make you go, actually, I've given an experience to do with this, and I'll see what that's like, because I only know this over here. So why don't I explore, rather than letting my mind say, I'll be fearful about that, or I'll change that? Because also with dropping illusions, there's quite a lot of energy that it comes in that causes a catalyst event. So catalyst events are changes that come in when they come in quite fast, because the universe has gone, right, you've procrastinated a little bit too long. So now I'm going to actually remove you, or remove the situation around you, so that you actually have to deal with it and have rapid fire growth. So all of that is happening right at the moment as well. And it can really make us as human beings really sit in that horrible Scrabble mode of trying to work out exactly what's the right thing to do, because we hate to be wrong. We don't want to feel like we're failing, and we really want to actually know that we're doing the right thing. But what about in this soul shift, that your soul, which is working through your heart based energy, actually knows more than your brain does? Now, we recently did a retreat where we actually said, in order to be more spiritual, then you have to be more accepting of the human side of yourself. We don't actually really like looking at the human side of ourselves. We go, if we're doing a soul ascension, or we're bringing more soul through, then surely by default we should be more loving, caring, patient. Well, that would be lovely if you were that way towards yourself, but you aren't. I mean, you haven't been for a very, very long time. So now it represents this really divided fight that I'm seeing within people, where they're actually fighting with the human part of themselves, as the soul goes, oh, it's fine, we've got this, it's no problem. And the human part goes, well, where's the boundaries, where's the limits, where's the edges? And sends us into these anxiety attacks or panic attacks that we haven't actually got anything to hold on to. And that's what it feels like. It feels unstable, and we feel vulnerable, and we don't feel like we've got any control. So when we do that, we start arguing with ourselves. What do you mean it's going to be okay? What I feel like it's going to be okay, but my brain is saying why? So I really, really feel for everybody right at the moment in these evolutionary times and their rapid fire, fast evolution, of where we're actually really scrabbling to try and go, well, what's next? Well, we're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to honour integrating the soul level change that we've got around us and actually slowing it down and investigating in a really cool way how that feels, because you feel different and it's really hard to explain and it's hard to word. You feel like you're both simultaneously expanding or have kind of got bigger, but still scrabbling to look at the limits. Where am I going? What's the changes that I make? What can I hold on to? And it can be very, very frustrating. Now, add the end of the declutter energy is about the 15th of November, which has just passed. They said, hey, guess what? We're going into another energy. And I'm like, oh my word, it's all rapid fire evolution. So we're coming in, doing our soul level integrations, and everyone has a completely different soul level evolution. So you can feel, yep, I'm cruising through this, but get really frustrated with other people who aren't. You can get really annoyed, full stop, that other people are just not getting what you're actually going through, which is a huge expectation on your behalf when it's so personal and it's so intense. To expect other people to understand it when our brain is actually kind of scrabbling to actually encompass everything that's actually changing within ourselves as well. And quite often we just don't know because we don't like, pardon me, investigating our feelings. We don't like feeling that vulnerable feeling. And so we certainly don't want to talk to other people about it. And we're ending up feeling isolated and alone in some of the changes that are happening. You are so not alone. You, the planet is going through this. And so when we're like this, we go on monkey mind or distraction mode and go, right, how do I actually find out, what can distract me enough that I can keep busy from this stuff that's going on with me? And so we focus on what's happening in the world, or we focus on the fact that money might get tight or whatever. All of that actually does is slows down your energy and puts you into kind of like a vibrational no man's land, really. So then your physical body says, well, hey, I'm in an evolutionary process with the soul and I'm going in this direction, and you're trying to pull backwards into the worry side of things. So you're getting extremely tired, and not only are you getting tired, but people are also getting sick as well. So when our soul is in charge of things, which it is right at the moment, it's saying stop trying to pull yourself back into limits. You're not supposed to know all of this, and you don't need to feel safe because I've got all your back towards this. I've got all of this encompassing you, and it's absolutely perfect. It's not a problem. And our mind is literally going, no, no, I need to know. I need to know. I need to feel safe. I need to 100% know about this. And it's really is that perpetual fight, and it's exhausting. Surrendering to understanding and coming into heart-based energy, which your soul is in direct contact with, is about actually honouring that this is a process. So as the new energies that are coming in, and they call it the three C's, we're really needing to step back and just going, you know what, I'll just do today. Today's the easiest day to do. I said to someone the other day, put pants on today. Well done. Or not. Well done. It is perfectly perfect, exactly what you actually can do right at the moment. And do that, be that, but start to stop distracting yourself with everything else and start to allow yourself to actually feel the changes. Notice that you're more aware of what the wind sounds like in the trees, that the grass feels brighter or colours feel brighter. Start noticing that your body is really, really responding with the foods that you're having and everything else that's going on to what's actually changing and happening within you. Because 15th of November, the three C's came in. Now, that is changes, challenges, and choices. When I said this to someone the other day, they went, "Oh, great, more stuff." And I'm like, when did you forget to be adventurous? When did you forget to be curious? And when did you forget to have fun with your life? Because changes don't always have to be negative. Changes can be really, really empowering. If you're in a job and you hate it, and the universe catalytically moves you by removing the job away from you, it didn't do that to pick on you. It did it because you'd been radiating out to the universe that you were unhappy for a very long period of time, or a very short period of time. The universe went, "Whoa, we're working with your soul now. Poof, that can go." And, it's not a challenge. That challenge only comes in when you're in your own way and you let fear say, "I needed to hold on to this job, or I needed to do this, even though I was desperately unhappy and the job was making me sick, I still needed to hold on to it." Well, the change is actually going, "I embrace it, the universe has realised this, and so if it's realised that this is the wrong job for me, then clearly in behind that, it's realised that the next job is better for me. And the next job is going to bring me more freedom, more flexibility, more of the things that actually serve me right at the moment in my soul evolution." And that's really, really important. And that's where human beings don't go. We don't go into, "Wow, this is amazing. It's going to bring me a gift. It's going to bring me another possibility or another opportunity." Instead, we hold on to what we think we are losing, even though it made us miserable. And that also applies to relationships. Seriously, the amount of people that I see, people know they shouldn't be remaining in a relationship anymore that's no good for them, and yet they tell themselves that the next relationship might be worse. Then what? You're already unhappy. At the end of the day, you can sit in that and use distraction and go, "It's all the other person's fault. It's their fault that I'm unhappy because they're difficult." Well, they're not difficult. They're going through a soul evolution too. But at the end of the day, in your heart, not your head, when you're done with anything. That includes connections with family members. You incarnated way back over here into a family to learn the most about yourself, what suits you, what doesn't suit you, who you want to be. Do you want to be like a parent? Do you not want to be like a parent? Do you want to be like a sibling? Do you not want to be like a sibling? Why don't you just be you? That's an awesome start. Don't know how to do that? Start with what you love. So these are major exploratory stuffs that are starting to come in with the 3Cs energy, right on top of a soul level upgrade. Whoop whoop, you guys have got this. It is really, really important to honour the changes that are going on in you, to come back to actually saying, "I'll start with me first." Can't fix the whole world. Certainly can't fix what's going on in the world. Never been able to fix what's going on in the world. But you can start right here with you. Okay? Your challenge then becomes, how do you get out of your own way? So you have your brain rabbiting on left, right, and centre. This is going to affect my whole world. I won't be able to feed my kids. I won't be able to do that. There's no way your soul is ever going to let you fall. There's no way that's going to happen. But it will pull you forwards if you let it into bigger, brighter, better possibilities. When you're in your heart, that's easy. Is it easy to get in your heart? Not when you've been in your brain for as long as what you actually have. So at the end of the day, it's about slowing it down and going, if I sit in some heart-based energy and I trust that the universe is co-creating with me now because my soul level is now so big, then you understand that you're starting to tap into the other C, choices. So choices start to roll in around you. Now, 2021 and 22 are lit up as opportunity years for most people. That it's this coming out of this energy of this year, the visionary year, the dropping of illusions and soul upgrade, whoop, whoop, and moving into this really lovely alignment of having more choices and what you actually realized. The key is working with the challenge part of it, and understanding that you are the only block that you have if you're letting your fears. And a lot of the times when I speak to people, they say, but, but I've got to work. Well, nobody said that you didn't have to work, but that's a part of our society, and it pays the bills and it feeds our kids and it does all those sorts of things. But nobody said you had to work in a job that hated either. So at the end of the day, it's about exploring possibilities. So there's a lot of energy going on. If you're an empath, a carer soul, or just a spiritually aware person, or just an aware person, full stop, then this energy that's coming in causes us to be actively, consciously aware of what we're trying to experiment with, of co-creating with the universe. So, in order to co create with the universe, we need to actually start co creating with the human part of ourselves and the soul part of ourselves within our own self. So, what I would like you to do is, I would like you to think about how many times you go into your brain and let your brain peck at you relentlessly with all of its fears and its worries. And I just want you to think about how many times has those fears and worries that you focused on actually manifested into a reality? How many times? Look back on your life path and go, would I be the person that I am today without the experiences that I've had? Would I be that person? You probably wouldn't. For better or worse, for good or bad, you are the person that you are right now by your own evolutionary pathway. You are the one person that has your own back. You are the one person that's absolutely amazingly present for every single experience that you have. You have way more knowledge about who you are as a person and who you're discovering you want to be as a person than anybody else around you. Why are you not working with you? So many people say to me, and they sit on my couch and they go, I don't know what I love. I'm like, okay, go find that. Like, what do you mean? Go explore, finding and be curious enough, because curiosity negates fear, to go and say, would I like to do that? What's it like to jump out of a plane? Don't know. Haven't done it. Sounds scary. What would that be like? Don't know. Am I going to sit in scary? Or is it scarier to suddenly lose a job and go, actually, I have to find another one? I think I'd probably jump out of a plane personally. But at the end of the day, it's about looking at it and going, I'm either going to decide that I can employ adventurousness and go, I'll go see what that's like. What's the worst thing that can happen? What's the best thing that can happen? And that's where it is changing it and swapping out in your own head and going, normally that's my limit. My limit would say, I'm really scared of doing this. I'm afraid of doing this. So that's a limitation. What's beyond a limitation? That vulnerable feeling of feeling the fear and doing anyway. I'll be curious. I'll have some fun with this. I'll be adventurous with it. This is a massive overlay energy that's going on above the three C's for the next 6 months. Be curious, be adventurous, and have fun. And I'll tell you right now, it's pretty much what people have actually forgotten to do. Oh, I can't be curious, I've got to pay bills. Well, you can't pay bills if they've taken the job away from you that you thought that you wanted, that you hated. So you've got to be curious, because then you've got to start exploring what else truthfully suits you. What else, what choices have you got that actually work for you? And it's amazing the amount of people that I work with, and they go, oh, I'm just so worried I can't get another job. And then I find out 6 months later that they've got this dream job that they absolutely love and it's perfect for them. That's great. Just because you can't see in yourself or trust yourself doesn't mean that your soul and the universe hasn't got another plan, hasn't got something else. That limitation of your human mind up to now, and upstairs calls it the great unlearning, is going on all the way around us right at the moment. It's absolutely amazing. And it's really, really empowering if you can get in your heart and trust creating with the universe, rather than in your head where all the doubts and all the fears and all those things that haven't probably happened are actually lurking to kind of beat you up with a stick every time that you go into your mind. It's really important when you're in your heart, you're safe. And a really, really good exercise to do with integrating the soul into more awareness and accepting the human part of yourself is just to actually sit in your heart. And how you can do this is put your feet flat on the floor and feel what the soles of your feet feel like. And then as you pay attention to the soles of your feet, I want you to notice a tingling sensation. Doesn't matter if you've got shoes on or not. Notice a tingling sensation because you have brought awareness and focus to the soles of your feet. Then I want you to just send the energy down into the depths of the earth, and I want you to truthfully feel with your heart, not your head, what the earth actually feels like to you. What does it feel like? Does it feel warm? Does it feel stable? Does it feel safe? Just sit in the energy of what that actually feels like. Feels, not think, feels. If you think, oh, I can't feel that, oh, I don't know what that would be, then just reach inside yourself a little bit longer, but coming through your heart, which is where your soul's mostly connected, to actually say, how do I feel? How do I feel? And as you feel that security and that safetyness from the earth, then I want you to feel how secure you feel, how loved you feel in your entirety. And know that that is the truthfulness of you all the time, not in your head. And if you have a huge amount of voices in your head saying, what about this, or what about that, or what about this, I want you to treat your brain or the inside of your head like it's a library. Now, in a library, if you go into a library and there's too much noise, there's always some incredibly helpful person that will go, shh. I would like you to do that in your head. And you can try it right now. Just go, shh, to that noise. I want you to then notice while you're feeling warm and safe and secure into the earth. I want you to notice how quiet it got in your head. A little bit of quiet. If it's only a little bit of quiet, I want you to go shh again. And notice that the louder the shush you do, the more it seems to quiet in your own head. Now you should do this at least 3 times. And then just sitting in heart-based energy, you've already connected, actually explore what that feels like, what that kind of quiet library in your head feels like. And then just leave it. Make it that simple. Make it so simple that you just be for a period of time. It's a really, really good technique to just bring you back to being for 5 minutes. And, at any point in time, you can do it anywhere. Focus on the soles of your feet. Put energy down into the earth. What does that feel like? I feel safe. I feel secure. Sit in that. And then, library shushes in your head. A really, really good thing to do also. And I think it's actually really, really important here to understand that it's your brain. If you don't put it on a lead, nobody else is going to, because it resides inside of your head. Nobody else hears how it misbehaves. Nobody else hears what it picks at. Nobody else hears that. So if you want to be the person in the library that goes shush, it has to start with you because it's your brain. And it's a really, really good thing to do. Do it all the time. Do it whenever you like. It's getting loud, shush it. It's about having a technique and it's about having some time to be able to actually shut that down. And I think in this energy where we're changing so much and there's rapid fire evolution going on, we're coming into the 3 C's, changes, challenges and choices. It's really, really important to say, okay, I can control this. I can actually control this. I might not right at the moment be able to control some external events that are actually going on, or the issues I'm having with my family or relationship or job, but I can control me. And if I feel safe and secure with me, I feel in touch with my soul. If I feel in touch with my soul, then suddenly all those worries step back for a period of time, and I can actually say, I'm okay being in this and experiencing this and being happy with this. I can do this. I can be okay with it. And creating those moments to do that, you create it in a moment, and then that moment becomes longer moments and becomes hours. And then before you know it, you're actually working in conjunction with your own soul and actually feeling more in control of you, because that's the most important thing right at the moment. And this mastery of the energy means that you don't feel like you're just being pulled along in a rowboat with no oars by every tide that comes along. That sense of security and connection with your soul means that you'll actually start to feel where the universe is responding. Now, for the next 6 months, also, that be curious, be adventurous, and have fun is also governed by a series of events that are completely non coincidental around most people if you're paying attention. So, what if I said it this way? Every single thing that the universe is trying to bring you right at the moment is 150% in your best interest. There's no good, there's no bad, just every single thing is coming towards you in your best interest. Was there a part of you that immediately goes, what's it going to do? Is there a challenge in it? How's it going to affect me? Is it going to be negative? And if your brain did that, then you need library shushes. Totally need library shushes for that, because there has to be that curiosity that says, ooh, if there's some awesome stuff coming for me, what would that be like? What can I take every opportunity and just explore where that's going to take me? Because that's the type of energy that's starting to come in right at the moment. And there's a need to be really, really excited about it. And we don't get excited. We actually sit in that monkey mind and that brain that says, there's going to be something bad coming, or I'm going to have to suffer for it, or there'll be something crappy going on. It's only when we're taking everything so personally that we think it's really crappy. But if the universe always has your best interests at heart, then it's actually never going to be as crappy as what you think. It's actually going to help you, strengthen you. I read something really cool today. So I've been reading the book My Life as a Monk by Jay Shetty, I think it is. And he said that they built a biosphere in the middle of the Arizona desert and planted all these things in it: pure water, pure air, pure soil, etc. And the trees that they grew, once they got to a certain height, would fall over. And they couldn't work out what was actually going on until they realised that there was no wind. Now, if there's wind, trees put down roots. They strengthen themselves. They push to hold on to the earth. We're very, very similar. Human beings are really similar. We need circumstances and events that bring us wisdom to ourselves, that bring us emotional growth, spiritual growth, growth full stop, evolution, understanding, all of those sorts of things that empower us on the journey to have more fun, be adventurous, be curious, explore ourselves and everything else. Yet we strive to make it safe. So no wonder when we're making it safe, we're ending up like the trees in the biosphere, falling over once we reach a certain point, just simply because of the fact there's been nothing that actually gives us room to grow. This is one of the coolest experiences on the earth plane, to actually explore and have fun figuring out who you are, what you love, what you don't love. All of those sorts of things are experiences that when you leave the earth plane, you will look at them for seriously. Everyone that I have a look at that does a life path review on the other side just says, oh, I had the most amazing experience. whether it was good, it was bad, they had amazing experience because they were fully present in it and they experienced everything that they wanted to. We come to learn about love. We come to learn about exploring. We come to learn about who we are as people and who we are as beings. All of those sorts of things are things that we actually explore through being fully present on the earth plane journey. What if you could just step back and say all of those experiences are so cool that that wasn't a bad experience, that was a growth experience. That wasn't a good experience. That was a chance for me to really explore having fun with that. It's sometimes changing the terminology and it's changing the limits of what we've been taught or what we've been taught to fear. And certainly this energy that's coming up, the three C's, it's not an awful thing to say, get out of your own way. That's the biggest challenge because we do get in our way an awful lot. We are constantly going, but this could be wrong, or I shouldn't do that, or I couldn't do that, or what if, or maybe. To get out of your own way is to shush all of that and just have an experience and be happy having the experience that the way that you want to have it. And I think it's incredibly important also for you to understand that giving yourself freedom to actually go, oh, there must be something really exciting coming for me. I look forward to that without putting a rule and condition on it, but just by being present during the day and thinking somewhere along the way there's going to be someone I meet that's really interesting, or there's going to be something that happens that just makes me delighted. Could be a bee landing on a flower. Could be the fact that you're standing in pouring rain and the feeling of it is really awesome. There is a multitude of gifts and experience happening right now in this evolutionary process that's actually really, really amazing that you'll store as a memory. Start looking for those so you can really be in that heart energy and going, this is 100% what I actually love. This is what I'm enjoying. This is who I am. And I think you'll find that the three C's energy will not be as confusing as what you actually think it is. So it's incredibly important to understand that the energy that's changing around us is an empowerment energy. It's an energy that is really bringing forward a chance to explore how much more soul we've brought down, to explore where we're going in the world, what things are just going to come up that are actually help us to actually unlearn who we thought we should be and start really exploring who we want to be, because most of us don't know that. And it's a really, really amazing time. I mean, you incarnated to be on the planet at this time. What a really awesome time to be here. Stop looking at things through fear-based eyes and start exploring. Absolutely exploring. The three C's is going to push you to do it anyway. So you may as well be an actively conscious enjoying being through this rather than being a fearful being and just feeling like you're being battered by the universe. It is really, really important to understand that empowerment is the thing right beyond all of this. And if your soul's got your back, and it always did, and now it's co-creating with the universe, then you can actually really start asking for some really amazing stuff to start coming out and really start actually looking forward to it with that lovely anticipatory anticipation and gratitude feeling, knowing that your soul is really going, hey, we've got this, let's have fun with this. And I can't stress how much it's really, really important to actually do that. So buckle up. It's about to get interesting if you embrace what's actually changing. Stop fighting with yourself. Stop fighting with the human side. You're a beautiful spiritual being inside a human experience. You need to start having more fun with that, and you seriously do. Start trusting the heart based energy that says, I've got this and I'm safe and I'll be fine all the way through it. And then let yourself evolve instead of scrabbling to go backwards to an energy that's not there for you anymore. It's not there for the whole world anymore, actually, but we're only just starting to explore the possibilities beyond that. That's a process. It's always a process. We hate processes. We don't like them. We like beginning, middles, and ends. But processes help us to evolve along the way into the best versions of who we actually can be for ourselves. That's awesome. let's have some fun with that. It really is time to have fun with it as well. So I hope that all makes sense. I am actually trying to figure out in this new version where I can find some comments to actually talk to you guys as well, because I did actually grab some cards as well. So just give me a minute to have a look at things since I need my glasses on, and find out where else I can actually start interacting with you guys. Cool. So I can't see your comments at all, you guys. Yeah. And when you've got a touch screen, it just causes it even more. So let's go down here. So if you want to ask some questions or anything, I'm still trying to find out where you guys are putting in your comments. Does anyone have any questions about what we were just talking about? If I can find them. If I can't find them, type them in and I will look at them as soon as I've actually found what I'm doing. Right, I'm just going to end the live video and just see if I can come back and answer some questions as well. So if you do have any questions, I'm going to hop off the live feed, but I'll be answering questions in underneath on the post. So I'm quite happy to do that for the rest of the time as well. Any questions about the 3Cs? Energy, soul upgrades, or just any random questions, just do that. And I'll just tip away and we'll see where we go from there as well. But I'll stop the video and come back into the room. Take care of you.